Good morning everyone, good morning. Welcome back to another video. It's been a while. Today is something different. This is the video about moving to Bahrain. As you can see by the footage now, we actually ate quite well in Bahrain. There's good food there actually. The first place you just saw before then was Cheesecake Factory. You guys will be familiar with that. And this is Lumi. Lots of American food places in Bahrain, franchises. This is Cafe Lilu. This is an actual local restaurant. Anyway, we went to a few places while we were in Bahrain for work, for business meetings. We flew out of Bahrain airport. I'm going to try and say Bahrain right because I keep saying Porsche wrong, so I'm going to say Bahrain right. This is on the way to Kuwait. This is not on the way to Kuwait. This is actually in Kuwait. This is the car from the airport. I thought Bahrain was hot. Honestly, Kuwait was insane. You can see the temperature on the dial there. It's 45 degrees, and that was, I can't see the clock, but I think that must have been about 6 o'clock in the evening, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening. So I don't know what it would have been like early in the day, but it was very hot. The airport has water jets that in the car park that obviously make you wet to cool the car park down. The car park must be 15 degrees hotter. It was absolutely insane. I guess you slowly get used to the heat in the Gulf, in the Middle East, but I'm used to Bahrain. Kuwait was another story. This is some really nice footage actually. This is leaving Kuwait in the evening, late in the evening. Natasha took this footage on her iPhone 10s Max. It's come up pretty well. I mean, it's really nice to see the city of a night. You know, it's one of those places that I never thought that I would ever visit. Obviously, my recollection of Kuwait, and obviously now I'm doing more research on it because of the project that we're doing for the country. But previously, I knew very little about Kuwait, and I think this footage is really quite spectacular. Actually, it's turned out quite well from the Gulf airplane. Natasha did a very good job in shooting this. So anyway, we had a very quick last-minute meeting in Kuwait. We flew there for the afternoon. And yeah, so that was the first place that I visited that I hadn't been to before. So then we went back to Bahrain. As I said, we've been eating quite well in Bahrain. There's lots of restaurants near our apartment. Lots of restaurants in general, actually. Some expensive, some not so expensive. This is a cafe called Cafe Lumi. That's cauliflower, if you're wondering. So this is the roof. This is the roof of the apartment building that we leased the apartment in. Not a bad view. I mean, you get the idea of the landscape. This is in an area called Sanabis. Sanabis is, I guess, the city center area. The more popular place is a place called Sif. Sanabis is kind of on the border of Sif. Sanabis, if you talk to a lot of people aren't so keen on that area. I didn't like it at first. I don't mind it so much now. It's very central. It's 15 minutes to the airport, 15 minutes to the office, 15 minutes to, it's kind of really in the center. But Sanabis was, if you remember the unrest in Bahrain that happened a few years back, Sanabis was right in the middle of it. I don't know the exact details about it, but Sanabis was one of those areas that was in the middle of the unrest. Bahrain is fine now. It's very safe, very nice place, very friendly people, and a mixture of lots of different nationalities. So back to the food. This is Lumi again. I like Middle Eastern food. If you like meat and you like meat well cooked and quality meat, it is very good. If you like bread, it's very good too. I'm not actually eating bread, but if you were eating bread, it's very good. This is on the way back to our apartment after work one day. It gets dark about 6 p.m. there, so this is probably about 5. I am driving a Q7, and I have to say the Q7 was much better, looking very stressed, looking very tired. The Q7 was much better than the Nissan Sunny that they gave me originally. This was someone else's car in the office. But it was good. I enjoyed the Q7. I like the size of it. I think you need a big car in Bahrain. I could not have a 911 in Bahrain unless it was a second car that I just used, to go out to dinner and weekends to go to the Bahrain circuit. So this was in the car park. Let's see what I have to say. So this is what I'm driving in Bahrain. A very dirty Q7, bashed up. Quite fun to drive though. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the size of it. Yeah, so that was us going out to dinner. there's Tasha. We're about to go to dinner, Al Ali Mall here in Bahrain. It's a beautiful night. That's part of the city there in an area called Sif. Still haven't bought a car, still using the loan car, business car. They keep switching me over. At least this one is a little bit better than the rental that I had. Yeah, so just been working a lot and not getting time to make videos and not getting time to look for cars. Anyway, off to dinner now. I was filming because usually there's really good cars here. Today not so much because it was a little bit early, but you always see beautiful cars. This is inside Lilu. We go there probably once a week. And then I thought I'd show you guys, there's a Panamera. That's what I'm pointing out, the Panamera. I have been looking at Panameras. Some are cheap, some are expensive. I do like the look of them and I do like the size of them for Bahrain. Cafe Lilu, one of our favorites off the menu, the Caesar salad, very good. The fish is very good there. Basically we eat quite well. We pretty much only eat one meal a day. Which might sound crazy to some of you guys, but it's kind of a regime we're on at the moment. So this is the view from our apartment in the apartment building in Sanabas. It's not a bad view. I quite like the gold building in the view, and you can see the water. It's a bit hazy that day. It's very humid in Bahrain. So that's the main highway. Lots of highways in Bahrain, lots of traffic, lots of figure eights and U-turns that you have to do when you're driving. Another place that we went to Saudi. We drove to Saudi. Between Bahrain and Saudi there's the causeway, the bridge, so we went across there. We got our Saudi visa in Bahrain, which is not always so easy to get. This is a Cadillac, I think, that we're driving in. I think it's called a Cadillac. We have a Saudi visa now for a year because we're obviously living in Bahrain, and we have another job with that we deal with. The people that we deal with are actually in Saudi. A job for the GCC, the Gulf states. I don't know if this footage is in sequence or not. I had trouble working out my footage today, but this is going over the causeway. So you go over, you get through immigration. We had to be fingerprinted. Like I said, it's not like you can get a tourist visa for Saudi. You have to have an invitation letter, and then you get a visa. And the visa can be, a few months or 12 months. Ours is 12 months. But anyway, this was driving over the causeway. This is the Cadillac that we were in. I hope it's a Cadillac. I think it was a Cadillac. It was huge anyway. There were 6 of us in the car. So that was quite good. It didn't take that long to get there. The landscape in the Middle East and the Gulf, it's pretty much the same. It was good to see some water, but the landscape, that what you're seeing now on the screen, to me, it's like this could be Bahrain, or this could be Saudi, or this could be, and not so much about Kuwait, but I think it's it's pretty typical. This was leaving the meeting. As Natasha, she had to get an abaya. You have to wear an abaya if you're a woman in going to Saudi to do business. You don't have to cover your face, but you have to wear an abaya. This was in the car park. It was so hot that day as well. So that's the Cadillac, I think. And then we drove back on our way back to Bahrain. On the way, we did a few stopovers. We went to one shopping mall. We drove through this area, which is like, I think, the richer area, like the nicer houses and more exclusive. Like, I think they call it the Golden Belt. I think someone said they call it the Golden Belt or Golden Mile or something like that. But these places aren't government offices or anything. They're actually houses. These are houses, and obviously very, very wealthy people live in these houses, but they're actually enormous. So this was just driving to the mall. Interesting thing about the mall, I should tell you, there was a poster in a fashion store there, and it surprises you because you don't think about it, but the faces of the women models were actually blurred out because it's in Saudi and you're not supposed to show your face if you're a woman. So in the car, in the posters, they were blurred out. Interesting though, when you're a visitor, you go there, you don't have to cover your face, you just have to wear an abaya. We had a stopover, which is a pretty good stopover. The people we work with took us to a steak restaurant. And I have to say, the meat was really, really good. I think it was very expensive. I had problems working out converting Saudi back into whatever currency I'm thinking of at the moment. But the steak was really good, so we had a stop over there. And then after that, we yeah, then after that we actually went to the shopping mall, and the shopping mall had a quick coffee, but it wasn't so great. But the shopping is like a shopping mall, like food and everything else. But interesting to see that in Saudi. So then we made our way back. We're in a place called Dammam. So then we made our way back into back to the causeway to go back to Bahrain. Yeah, so this is heading on our way back. I think it is anyway. This footage is confusing me today, guys, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, very, very interesting. Interesting to go somewhere, once again, another place that I never thought I'd visit, Saudi Arabia. Saudi people are very friendly as well. Everyone in the Gulf region they're very polite, very friendly, very nice people, and you know, on a base level, everyone's very, very friendly and very nice. So it's actually quite I mean, in saying that, everyone is also very particular and quite demanding, but as a place to do business, there is a certain level of respect and a certain level of decency, which is actually quite nice. This is back in the car, heading back. The trip over the causeway is actually quite nice. It took a long time because we actually came back during the peak hour period. A lot of people live in Bahrain. They live in an area called Sar in Bahrain, and Sar to the causeway, Sar is the closest suburb of Bahrain to the causeway. So you can go straight over the causeway. So a lot of people don't want to live in Saudi because of the Bahrain is more relaxed. I mean, you can drink in Bahrain. There's alcohol. There's obviously Bahrain and Saudi and places like Kuwait are dry. They're completely dry. They don't have alcohol. So for expats, it's more appealing for them to live in Bahrain and then travel over the causeway. I think it took us about not that long. We got held up in customs. We had to get re-fingerprinted. Not re-fingerprinted, we had to get checked. I think it's because our visas were new. But I think it takes about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, not very long. So anyway, that was that day, and then we're back to Bahrain. This is called the Avenues in Bahrain. It's like a news center, sort of upmarket shopping center. Really nice spot on the water. You look across to the Four Seasons, which is the building which has like it's like a H.
My second attempt to make this video, going to the Avenues in Bahrain, going to have something to eat, going to the Cheesecake Factory for a steak, I think, or something like that. So this video will hopefully make it. I'm going to add it on to the other one, but yeah, second attempt.
Yeah, so this is the building with the H, which is, I think, respect to the king. That's why it's a H. But this is Cheesecake Factory in Bahrain, which is actually a really good spot on the water. So we go there every now and again to have a steak or a salad. The servings are huge. Not eating any sugar at the moment, so I can't eat their cheesecakes, which kills me because I really do like the basic plain cheesecake at Cheesecake Factory. So we had dinner there again that night. That was after we came back from Saudi. But the food is pretty good, and as you can see, the servings, and you guys in the US are probably used to it, but the servings are huge. They're absolutely enormous. Steak was pretty good. Of course, when we're in Bahrain, there's an IKEA that's opened up. I don't usually shop at IKEA, but we have been shopping at. There's Natasha looking very pretty in a floral dress. We have been shopping at IKEA a lot just to get better furniture that's more our style or more the look we want. The apartment was furnished and some of the stuff wasn't great, so we gave it back to them. So we've been doing lots of trips there. Went for breakfast the other morning to this place called Baker and Spice, which I'll be going to again. Very close to our apartment and really good, actually. Posted this image on Instagram, but the eggs, the omelette service, I think it's a chain and it's through Kuwait and places like that. Avocado and scrambled eggs. If you give me that with coffee in the morning, then I'm quite happy. No bacon, of course, but you can get beef bacon there, which the beef bacon is actually quite tasty. This was when we were doing some exploring in Bahrain. This is kind of near where we live. We were going to the shopping center called City Center that day, so this is on the way to City Center. More food. I can't even remember where this is. Oh, this is Baker and Spice again. This is an evening. We went there for breakfast, and then we decided we're sitting in that seat on the right before. We decided to go there for dinner. And I have to say the steak here was much better than the Cheesecake Factory steak, and one of the best steaks I've had, actually. Very good cut, very nice. I think Natasha had corned beef or something like that. This was the Bahrain National Museum. We had a meeting there on the last day before we left. Been there once before. One of our colleagues took me there once before. That footage is a bit blown out, but this is the Bahrain National Museum. So we had a meeting there for one of the jobs we're doing, one of the other projects we're doing, which is coming to fruition in 2020 as well. And then we left. we're leaving Bahrain. This was the last night. I guess this is our flat at the moment, our apartment at the moment. It's looking better. It's not completely finished. There's a few more things. We're going to buy some things in London to take back there. We're in London we're still working in London. This is just a bit of a tour of the apartment. I don't know if you guys are interested, but we're still in the process of making it better. It didn't look as good before. It actually looks much better now. The spare bedroom is the second bedroom, but we're setting it up as an office, which we haven't completely finished because we've got to get a screen. But we're back in London for a week. We're doing work here. We're doing meetings here. Then we're going to have a holiday. I'm not sure where we're going to go. We're going to have a little holiday. Come back to London again. There's a toilet. I don't know why I'm showing that, but I'll probably leave it in. And buying things to take back. So we have things, like things we can't buy there. Electrical things, screens, music systems, and stuff like that. So our luggage is going to be huge on the way back. Anyway, thought you guys might enjoy this video today. It was just a short one. It's actually not that short. It's probably 16 minutes. So I hope you're not bored. I hope you got to watch this to the end. Thanks for watching. I'm going to do another Porsche video, hopefully this weekend, and I'll post it up. I don't know if you want to hear what I'm saying here. I'm thinking I'm just rambling on about stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button. It's not the normal type of video. I just thought you guys would like to see very condensed version of what we've been doing in Bahrain. Obviously, this month has been very, very heavy with work. It really hasn't been, I really haven't had a chance to make any videos or whatever. But anyway, just wanted to share this one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.